Here. Before you get all smug and pass out from intellectual superiority. Drink. It's just water. Come on, you gotta chill. I figured anything else probably is going to send you in a freaking conniption. And maybe you're gonna, have your senses dull or anything like that. I want to keep you with me. That's why. Hard to believe you actually, agreed to study here, Honestly, I thought you would just fail the class than to be, around my vicinity. Just two people for 2, 3-ish hours. My inner sanctum, the lion's den. Jesus. What? Can't get your tongue? Or maybe you're just really nervous about being on enemy territory. Wait, wow. You're actually quiet. That's a new one. In class, I can practically hear you formulating counter arguments before professor even, finishes a sentence. Here, nothing. Kind of scared. Just staring at me. Analyzing, I'm sure, calculating angles, trying to figure out my play. You're fidgeting already. Your fingers tapping on your knee. Maybe a Morse code for get me the hell out of here. I thought you were the cool, unbothered genius. Ice queen of the economics department. I guess I'm not the only one who gets under your skin, huh? It's okay. You can breathe, I don't bite. Unless you're into that shit. Too much? Sorry. Rivalry brings out the worst in me. Or the best. Depending on your perspective, I guess, but oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just having so much fun having you here. I don't know. Anyways, let's just get back to the topic, okay? Unless you're super duper scared that I'm actually gonna explain it than the professor did. Don't look at me like that. I'm right. Professor Davies could make a law everyone sound like an actual lecture in supply side economics. Even you said I almost made sense last time. That is a gushing compliment. Coming from you? I'm gonna have that shit framed, man. So, advanced game theory. Final boss. You were having trouble with this mixed strategy equilibrium, right? When the payoff matrix is ambiguous. See, okay. Here's the thing. You're trying to solve this with pure math, right? I know you. You look at numbers like they're just numbers, right? Game theory isn't really math, if you think about it. It's psychology. It's predicting what the other player is going to do, based on how badly they want to win, usually, and how badly they think you want them to win. Let's see. Example. It's like this. Right now, you and me. Think about it. We're in a non-cooperative game, 2 players vying for the top spot of the best, whatever fucking top one, I guess. The A+ prize, I guess. For the last year, we've both been playing a dominant strategy. And our strategy was, study harder, be smarter, annihilate the competition. That is you, and that is me. It's predictable, it's stable, it's boring. But what happens? I'm gonna give you this one. What happens if one player deviates? What happens when one player invites the other into the room, offers them a drink? That's a new variable. That's an irrational move. It destabilizes the whole equation, and suddenly, you don't know what my next move is. In your old strategy, hate him, beat him, ignore him. It doesn't work well so well anymore, does it? You're not fidgeting anymore, though. You're just watching me. Like you're really listening, or maybe you're just distracted. Okay, look. The formula, you're getting caught up on the probability. You're assuming the other player is rational. Big mistake. Especially when you're talking about, well, people. Here, give me your notebook, okay? I'll explain to you. Jesus, your handwriting is, it's perfect. I mean, of course it is. It's like a font. God damn, mine looks like a spider fell in a fucking inkwell and then just had a fucking seizure. I don't know. And you're like, you're color coding? Who color codes iterated elimination? What the fuck? Oh man, you are incredible. You know that? Like you're infuriatingly pathologically perfect. Okay, look. Right here. This variable. You're treating it as a constant, but it's not. It is the perceived payoff. It's what you think I'm gonna do. But okay. So if I know that you know that I know that the professor loves this topic, I can predict that you're going to study it. So maybe I study something else. Obscure footnote, basically. You know, the one thing you mentioned in passing, because I know you. You are going to go for the big, obvious target. But you know I know that. So you also study the obscure footnote. And we basically end up in this whole spiral, feedback loop, basically. Pa, 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 pa. Both of us trying to outthink the other until we're both like so far inside each other's heads that we're not even thinking about the topic anymore. We're just thinking about each other. You keep glancing at me. Not at the notebook, not at the formula. At me. What, do I have the answers written on my lips, huh? Hey, focus. Or don't. I'm kind of curious what happens when that competitive, brilliant brain of yours just slips. When all those gears stop grinding on game theory and start just imagining, wondering. You're not so sharp when we're this close, huh? You're holding your breath. I can see it. Look. You can drop the rival act for like a second, okay? It's just us in here. We have no professor, no other students, we got no other class, no grades that we have to think about. And we both know we've been neck and neck all year, and it doesn't really mean we have to stay enemies outside of class, right? I mean, this entire rivalry, it's exhausting. Isn't it? Come on, the late nights, endless competition, trying to one-up each other in every fucking seminar. You're smart. Like, talented, skillful, I don't know, gift of God, painfully smart. And I just don't say that about anyone. Especially not someone who's kicked my ass in like 2 midterms. That second one, that essay on monetary policy, fuck. Jesus. That was good. That was poetry. I mean, Okay, I told everyone that it was like can I talk? Derivative trash, obviously, but it was good. It was good. You're good. The only person who's ever made me try. Really try, you know? And do you have any, like, any idea how annoying that is to be the best, to just, coast? And then you show up, first day, first year, with your perfect notes, your hand in the air, and that little smirk when you know that you're right. And I've spent this entire year hating you for it. Or, well, telling myself I hated you, because it was easier than admitting that I was impressed, that I was intrigued, that I would go back to my room and I wouldn't just study the topic, that I would just study you. I would think, how would she answer this? What's her angle? I don't hate this, having you here in my room, away from all that rivalry. Seeing you when you're not being all snarky with your sharp comebacks, when you're just here, looking a little bit lost, a little bit nervous. You're kind of cute when you're trying to stay serious. You look confused. You look like you're solving a puzzle right now, and I'm basically the puzzle. Not that I'm going soft. Don't get any ideas, okay? I'm still gonna beat you on this final. I am gonna study this textbook until my eyes bleed, and I'm gonna walk out of that exam room knowing I got the high mark. Unless I keep distracting you like this. Is this what you want? Is this a new strategy? Sabotage? Lull the enemy into a false sense of security in your very distracting presence? Because it's working. I haven't thought about game theory in like 10 minutes. I've just been watching the way the light from my desk lamp catches the... God, your eyes. Your eyes. They're green or hazel. I don't know. In the lecture hall, they just look dark, annoyed sometimes, but here, you're still not saying anything. And you're not moving away. I'm gonna lean in just a little. Tell me to stop and I will. You're not telling me to stop. You're not even looking at the notebook anymore. Your lips are parted, just a little. For someone so smart, you're making this very, very difficult. Or maybe you're making it very, very easy. What if? What if the new strategy is collaboration? What if the payoff is not the A? What if the payoff is this? You can just lean in a little closer to me. Got you. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, your face. Yeah, I wish I had a fucking camera. You went completely still, like a deer in the headlights. Oh my. Maybe a genius caught cheating on a pop quiz. Did you honestly think I was like gonna right now in the middle of an intense career-defining study session? What kind of idiot do you take me for? This final is like 50 fucking percent of our grade. That's an A plus payoff, darling. Not some cheap, irrational deviation. And here I thought I was the easily distracted one. Look at you. You actually bought it. All that talk about defection, Nash equilibrium, I was literally just illustrating how human behavior can destabilize a purely mathematical model. And you proved my point perfectly. You got so caught up in all the psychology of the game that you just forgot the objective function, the goal. Game theory, baby. It's all about calculated risks. And that, my dear rival, was a calculated risk that paid off beautifully. I needed to reset the board, get you off your perfect ice queen pedestal. And it fucking worked. See? Look. Now we're back to the textbook. Now you're actually paying attention, but not because of the numbers, because you're what? Annoyed? Confused? Intrigued, perhaps? All excellent emotional motivators. Much better than intellectual superiority, which tends to breed complacency. For someone who analyzes market trends and predicts consumer behavior, you have a terrible impulse control when it comes to me. It's fascinating. It's like watching a supercomputer trying to divide by zero. Just breaks. Okay. Tell me honestly, what were you thinking? Were you calculating the probability of this study ending in a disaster, or were you calculating a potential utility of having a different outcome? Actually, don't answer that. Your silence is basically screaming the answer anyway. And by the way, that little twitch around your eye, it's either you're like really fucking mad at me or really fucking embarrassed. Which is it? Because both are equally satisfying to me, I warned you. I told you I was going to beat you on this final, and the best way to beat a genius? Distraction. Get them so preoccupied trying to figure out if you're going to kiss them or quiz them on the Keynesian economics that they forget to study their flashcards. Okay, enough fun. Clock is tick-tock ticking. Let's get back to the real game. The one that gets us the fucking degree. The one that actually determines who gets to be smug, unbothered genius next semester. Think we were on this section of bounded rationality. Beautiful topic. Perfectly explains why someone with a 4.0 GPA would actually sit there and wait for the person she hates to kiss her instead of running out of the room. Your rationality was temporarily bounded. By what exactly? Curiosity? Morbid fascination? See? I'm actually teaching you theory and applying it in real time. That is synergy. That is fucking collaboration. Come on. Wipe that look off your face. It's a study session, not a hostage negotiation. Come on. I mean, okay, I have to admit, seeing you speechless is a major win for me. Should have factored that into my utility function for the night, I'm adding it now. Plus 5 points for rendering the rival mute. Okay. Look, let's be straight about this, okay? This whole rivalry thing, it is exhausting, and you are undeniably the only person in this entire fucking department who doesn't bore me to tears. Which is why I invited you here. Not for that, okay, but because you actually challenged me. You forced me to be better. If I hadn't added that element of, romantic uncertainty, you probably would have walked in here, answered my questions perfectly, probably mocked my organizational skills, and left, leaving me feeling like the second best student. I just needed to disrupt that pattern. I needed to regain the psychological high ground, and I did. I pulled the oldest trick in the book: make the enemy overthink the simplest move. My move was just study. I just dressed it up in a ridiculously flirtatious package. So now, jeez. So now you know my play, as you call it. It's purely strategic, purely academic. I'm using your pride and your competitive nature against you to gain a mental edge before the exam. Were you angry? You should be. You fell for it. You, the most calculating, skeptical person I know, actually let yourself wonder. I broke your concentration. I didn't even have to offer you an incentive. I just offered a possibility. Do you want to throw that water bottle at me? Actually, you know what? Don't be mad. Be impressed. You think your notes are perfect? My planning is flawless. Entire sequence from enemy territory comment to the final loaded whisper was designed to produce that exact same reaction. Timed it to the fucking second. I wrote it down too, by the way. Performance art piece called How to Win the Final Exam by Making the Valedictorian Super Duper Evil Brain Smart Motherfucker Question Her Life Choices. Now, what's your move? Seriously, if you walk out right now, I win. Because then you'll be too flustered to study properly. But if you stay, we actually work. But I still win. Because I've successfully demonstrated that I can completely throw you off your game whenever I choose. You'll be sitting in the exam room, trying to work out the elasticity of demand, and all you hear is my voice. Right here. Whispering. You keep glancing at me like I've got answers written on my lips. It's beautiful. Insidious, dominant strategy. I designed it specifically for you. Okay. Come on. Let me show you how to set up the expected payoff equation again, okay? Focus on the zero-sum game because that's where we are, right? Every point you gain, I lose one. Remember that. It's much safer than the non-zero-sum game we were playing 5 minutes ago. The one where, we both stood to gain something entirely different, but... See, you think I'm always gonna go for the highest theoretical score, but my real payoff, the real utility, is derived from your frustration. And right now, it's like stocks. My fucking stocks are soaring, man. Mission accomplished. Okay. I'm waiting, rival. Your move. Are you gonna study? Or pout? Are you gonna fail? Or are you gonna focus? And for the record, I wasn't entirely wrong about you being cute when you're trying to stay serious. Okay. Let's get back to studying.